All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to finally get around to putting the MSD 8582 distributor and the 347 stroker. You saw in the previous videos where we put the 850 double pumper carburetor on there. Kind of mothballed the project for a couple weeks while I was working on the 69 coupe, the fastback, and the Falcon. Finally getting back on it. I'm going to get this distributor in it. Going to show you how I wired up the MSD box, where I put it on this car, because there's not a whole lot of places. And I particularly don't like them underneath the hood where they're exposed to the elements of the weather. So give us a little bit here and we'll start taking out the ready to run, and I'll put this in, and then we'll, like I said, we'll go over where the MSD box is. All right, so what I did here is I ran the MSD box inside the glove compartment and mounted to the back of the glove compartment door. It's accessible, keeps it out of the elements of the weather. Of course, I'm still cleaning up the wiring on it right here, but I can get to my rev limiter switch. I can still see the little LED light. These boxes, they have a little blinking light on them. It tells you if they're good or bad, for if there's an error in them or whatever. I figured that if I put it there, it's accessible and it's also hidden at the same time, because I don't like a lot of aftermarket stuff exposed on this car. I'm trying to keep it, classy. I just don't like a lot of aftermarket stuff exposed. As you see the videos of this car, you'll see where I hid things, and there's going to be a video coming up where I actually put electric air conditioning in this car too. This was an AC car, but I have a plan where I'm going to hide the compressor and all that stuff. You won't see it. But anyhow, this is a firebox from MSD. I'll tell you exactly which one it is here. I put it in there a month ago. It's a Street Fire. That's what it is. I had a little amnesia there. But it's a Street Fire box. Works well for this application. Works well with that MSD distributor I'm getting ready to put in there. So we're going to get that in now. We're going to tune it. We're going to tune the carburetor, and you know what that means. Roast some tires. So stay tuned. What I'm doing right now is I'm taking out my ready to run distributor. I had wired this car for a ready to run, but I also have it wired for the MSD box. And I'm going to leave both wiring in it just in case the MSD box decides it doesn't want to play anymore, which eventually it will, because they're a pretty good part, but reliability, I don't think they are what they used to be. So what I'm going to do is leave it wired for my ready to run, just in case, and I'll just put that in the trunk just in case I'm stuck on the side of the road. So what I'll do, this is the wiring for the ready to run. This is the wire for an MSD. This is a wire for an MSD, and this is the plug for the MSD box. So if the box ever takes a dump, take this off, put these on, unplug it, put distributor in, and I'm going down the road again, because they even use the same wires on the cap. I highly recommend, if you have an MSD box and a ready to run distributor, you might want to put that in your trunk, because short as shit, you're going to need it one day or another. All right, so we're going to get this out. I already brought the motor up on TDC. If you look down here, you can see my timing tape. And I'm on TDC, up on compression. And let me tell you guys, those timing tapes used to be $10. That timing tape cost me $30. I don't get it, man.
For tape?
For that timing tape was $30 to put on that balance. I kid you not. And it was, I think it's Mr. Gasket. I'll give you the part number right here for a small block Ford. Yes, it was Mr. Gasket. Look at that. So if you got 289, 302, 351, this is the 181. $30. I couldn't believe it. Of course, this motor has an aftermarket balancer and it doesn't have any marks on it, so I had to have the timing tape. Make sure that if you do this, make sure your balancer is marked, or you mark it, because you're going to be in a world of hurt. You got to pull that distributor out and trying to find TDC, you don't have this done. So this is all stuff that I took care of earlier this morning. So here we go. I'm going to pull it out. This distributor has a steel gear. The MSD has a steel gear, and make sure your gears are compatible with your camshaft. Now this particular, I will say, this particular distributor right here came from MSD with a cast gear. Don't take for granted that your MSD has a steel gear. We did have to change it out. So now it is a steel gear, which is compatible to the Naughty cam that's in this motor. You can tell, if you look close, the cast gears are a little more porous. The steel gears are a lot smoother. There's a good way to tell. So do not make the mistake and chew up your gear. You could be in a world of hurt and you're gonna have a sore ass on your pocket, trust me. Pull this off. Pull this out of the way. Wires are already off. And then what I like to do is I like to look where the rotor's pointing, and I'll actually take a little piece of tape or a Sharpie and I'll make a reference mark to where that rotor's pointing. So let me get a piece of tape or Sharpie here. Okay, so what I do is I'll look at that rotor and you can see where that rotor's pointing. So what I'll do is just make a little reference mark right there on that oil cap. That'll easily wipe off, so don't get your panties in an uproar. So we're gonna pull this out. Battery's unhooked. Do that. So we're gonna pull this out. This is gonna come straight up. There it is, out of the motor. As you're ready to run. This is just a cheap Chinesium ready to run, but I tell you what, it's been a pretty good distributor so far. Timing curve's a little weak in it, but it works okay for what it is. This has the steel gear on it. So I'll put this in the trunk. I'll put it in a plastic tote, wrap it up, keep it in the trunk, have it for the future, I'm sure, whatever. MSD's gonna say no more. Quit. I like to put a little bit of oil on these gears, give her a little shot of oil. That's good. Doesn't need much. And put a little bit around the outer ring as well. So what we're gonna try to do is stab this sucker and get it close to the ballpark to where you just pulled that other one out. Here's the plug we were talking about. I'll change these wires here as soon as I get the distributor in. So hopefully this distributor will go and fall in that same spot. Probably won't, but we can try. Okay. Right there we're a tooth off. You can clearly see that they're not lined up. Where's our mark at? Our mark is right there. You can see where we're at. We're not lined up. So we need to try to get this thing down. We're probably gonna have to turn the oil pump shaft. Ford distributors are real conniving. You gotta get it through that oil pump shaft. So I'm gonna probably have to turn that shaft. So let's pause it and give me a minute and I'll come back. That's it right there. All right. So back to the cap.
Yep, that's in line with the mark.
And these caps, they come marked for #1. But you can start #1 anywhere, honestly. Doesn't necessarily have to be on that lube. See, like here, it's showing #1 here on that, which there's a little pen right there. Okay, there's #1, but we don't want to start #1 there. Our #1's going to start probably right here, but we have to look where this rotor's pointing. See where that rotor's pointing in between these two? Right there. So you can change your 1 by turning this. Turns the base, it will turn the cap at the same time, but this is #1, so we have to start. We can't change this, but we can change the base. So what we gotta do is put this here, and we gotta mark which plug wire is sitting right there. That is actually in between 2 cylinders firing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this way. And now you pick it up. #1's in line with this. Gotta make sure we have enough space to advance the timing. See, like this. This is advanced, this is retarded. So we're gonna set it right there. Right there, there's gonna be our number 1. Right? That's as close as where we're gonna get right there. So that's where we're gonna put number 1, right there. This will be 1, so we'll take a Sharpie and we'll mark 1 on that cap for the next poor sack sucker. They'll be like, well, that's not number 1. So we're gonna start number 1 there. I'm only doing that because I gotta be able to advance the distributor. If I turn the base will hit the coolant power back here where the heater hose goes in. So this is gonna be 1. So let's go here. This is number 1. This is number 1 cap on this cap. Number 1. So we'll just go around the cap, go clockwise. You know the motor turns counterclockwise. Well, I tell you, these wires really stick good on these caps. And I've used silicone on these things too, and they still. We'll clean up the order on these wires here as soon as we get them all on. They're all over the place. Okay, now we gotta put these on. These are the MSD wires.
Were those just hanging on before?
You just unhook these 2 wires that I'm putting on right now when you put your ready to run in. The ready to run has wires on it already, which goes in the same places where I'm putting these at right now. And we'll have to time it up. What we'll have to do, I'll probably start at 34 degrees full advance on this thing. Probably gonna want more than that, but that's a good starting line. And we'll adjust the carburetor for most amount of vacuum too. This wire right here is what the MSD box is gonna plug into. That is right here, right there. See, let's plug them in together now, and there it is, it's hooked up. Just gotta tighten these up. Boy, eyesight. Whew. Wish I had my eyesight back. Okay. This is a hot ignition wire lead, which I need to put this on if I do the ready to run, but I don't need it right now because the MSD is already wired hot through this harness right here. So I'll just leave them off to the side. Not gonna hurt nothing sitting there, they're in boots. And this is good, that's tight. Put the hole down in. Hopefully we got the wires on right and the distributors hitting on number 1 cylinder. We're gonna know real quick. Now if your timing's out 180 degrees, you're gonna know because it's gonna let you know out the exhaust. It is extremely loud and it's probably gonna blow your mufflers up. It swells them up. Just a little note, if you do put your distributor in and you're 180 degrees out, make sure you unhook your battery terminal. Because if you pull that distributor out and your key is still on by chance, and you have that gas vapor in there and you pull that distributor, it's gonna arc on that block and you're gonna have a freaking explosion in your face. Ask me how I know. I was 16 and I tell you what, you'll never do it again. Blew the dipstick up in the tree. Oh my God, it was bad. It was in Cleveland.
Did it mess you up at all?
No, it was just loud.
It's just an attitude adjustment.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed about that, but hey, I was only 16. You'll never do it again. All right, well, we're gonna see how close we are in time. We're probably off a good bit, but we'll try it. Alright, so
How's it running?
well, it sounds alright. We gotta time it though. We gotta take a timing light to it and we gotta adjust that carburetor. But we'll probably get to that tomorrow. So.
Get to that in another video?
Yes, we'll do that in another one. This is a good point to stop so I can check everything and make sure all my wires are not in the way of getting burned or anything like that. But that's the gist of putting an MSD box in these cars. Just keep your original wiring in there. Run your separate harness up here. Keep an extra distributor in there if you have an MSD box, because like I say, they're notorious for burning up. Most of the time it's because people mount them on the firewall and the weather gets into them, or they put them in a place where they overheat. I seem to think the glove box will be just fine. I don't think it's going to run hot or anything like that. But tomorrow I'll degree the motor, I'll tune that carburetor, and we'll take her for a rip tomorrow. Like and subscribe.